Good morning, class. I'm Timothy. I want us today we learn about library automation process. So by the end of this particular topic, we need to learn. By the end of this class, we are supposed to have this objective: explain the process of automating information services and functions in the Library Information Center. So we are going to start with the automation process. We see how you can be able to automate the information centers. So basically, we have 6 steps, which include planning for automation. This is whereby you need to sit down and plan and know exactly the resources that are required for planning. Then step 2, you're supposed to assess the needs and the setting priorities. You know exactly the needs of that particular information centers and prioritize the needs accordingly. Then step 3, you're supposed to translate the needs and priorities into specifications. Then step 4, you're supposed to evaluate the proposal and select a system which best suit your information center. Then step 5, you are supposed to put the system into place, the system that you have selected. Then step 6, you're supposed to retrospective conversion and barcoding so that it can fit your information need. So we want to basically go step by step to see each step what it entails. So step 1, which I talked about earlier, is planning for automation, whereby you're supposed to have the vision and the mission of the information center. Remember, each and every automation process must adhere to the vision and the mission of the organization, so that you are not supposed to, so that you are not, you don't deviate from their mission, so that you may be able to have you'll be able to capture their vision and the mission. Also, you're supposed to identify the service goals and objectives of the information center. By this time, in this case, we are talking about the library as the information center, so that you are able to achieve their mission. Then the vision and the mission also assist in it also assists in identifying or assist in saving the cost or the expenditure of the automation process. Then we go to step 2, which is assessing needs and setting priorities. By we are supposed to determine the telecommunication needs, the levels that we have that exist. Then you're supposed to decide who to involve in this particular process, identify the staffing needs, and also you're supposed to develop the action plan and timelines, identifying the costs, and then prepare the budget, which is supposed to capture the automation process. Then you're supposed to, step 3 is all about translating the needs, priorities into specification. This is whereby you're supposed to define the problem, in this case, which is supposed to be automated, and select the number of priorities from the number of the problems. Then you're supposed to have the requirement analysis so that you may be able to understand the problem for which an automated information system is to solve, the scope, the feasibility analysis, detailed analysis, and the ways of acquiring the system. For example, when you're talking about the turnkey, then preparing the request proposal, which is a very valuable tool which can be used to determine the exact details of what is being offered by each vendor. Then step 4 is all about evaluating the proposal and selecting a system according to the analysis that has been done, which is supposed to narrow to 2 or even just 1 vendor. Then you're supposed, when you get this particular proposal, you're supposed to test the demo that these particular vendors have given to you. Then you're supposed to host environment. You're supposed to host the environment, hosting the environment so that you can be able to offer a solution. Then research vendor viability to check whether it is up to the standards. And then you check the references. Uh, then you test the technical support. And then select the system. Then step 5 is whereby you put the system into place. This is whereby you design the system architecture, then negotiate the contract, of course, with the vendors that the information center has agreed with. Then the hardware evaluation and installation to check all the things that are required. That is the computers, the power backup, among others. Then you test. Then there is documentation whereby it's supposed to help you to ease the transition from the current system to the successor. Then the staff training, whereby you are supposed to make sure that the staffs are trained on how to use this particular system. Then step 6 is whereby you do the retrospective conversion and barcoding. This whereby we are talking about putting the records pertaining to collection into cataloging, whereby you're supposed to copy the cataloging to match the existing cataloging records, original cataloging, and then you do barcoding. And that's the final step. So the conclusion is whereby we say that for you to have a successful